Every time you open your phone, you enter an arena of rapid-fire execution. Millions of videos are served up, and within milliseconds, a single swipe of a thumb sends them into the void. To understand why some videos survive while others die, we took a raw horror mystery called Mukadas Tabut and ran an experiment. We engineered it from a simple story into a specific kind of viral trap. Platforms enforce a brutal judgment window. In the first 3 seconds, a viewer makes a split-second choice: keep watching or swipe away. Before the viewer even registers the story, they must first decide to stop moving. In this narrow survival window, biological triggers take priority over narrative art. The first rule of engagement is the compositional hook. By placing a striking visual in the upper third of the frame, we intercept the viewer's gaze exactly where their hand naturally grips the phone. This anatomical view shows the brain's ventral premotor cortex. When you observe sudden action on screen, mirror neurons simulate that movement. This motor mirror resonance creates a sense of participation, causing a measurable delay in your thumb swipe. Once that physical movement is delayed, we use a verbal hook like, "They don't want you to know the secret of the Mukadas Tabut." This creates a curiosity gap. It forces the brain to reconcile the distance between what it currently knows and the hidden secret you've just teased. These hooks work because your brain is biologically poorly equipped to ignore an unresolved contrast. Getting someone to freeze for 3 seconds is a start, but the real challenge is holding that attention for a full 60 seconds. With 74% of social media consumed on mute, textual anchors are the primary driver of retention. Without them, the story stops the moment the user turns the volume down. We use perfectly scrolling text, in this case, the Jamil Nuri font, to deliver a steady, controlled drip of information that the viewer can follow regardless of audio. This diagram shows how we manage viewer energy. By timing the text to a specific rhythm, cognitive fatigue remains low, while the curiosity loop stays elevated, preventing the brain from checking out. On-screen text functions as a visual metronome. It dictates the viewer's internal pacing, ensuring they don't lose the thread of the story. As the story escalates, we have to sustain emotional valence. We need to tell the viewer how to feel without using a single word. When the story reaches its turning point, the discovery of the mysterious holy coffin, we use a nonverbal trigger to spike the tension. We deploy an abrupt environmental color shift, moving from a cool monochrome palette to a striking warm orange. Researchers measured valence shifts under different color conditions. Transitioning to a color palette reliably increases emotional intensity. When combined with a fearful narrative context, this shift intensifies anxiety, and the light contrast facilitates faster visual processing on a small screen. These color shifts serve as autonomous stimuli. They command the audience's emotional state before they even process the details of the plot. The climax occurs when the resolution of the story syncs perfectly with the peak of our visual and audio pacing. This synchronization creates a singular, satisfying impulse in the brain, a neurovisual payoff for the curiosity we've sustained. We push aggressively into the final frame and snap to black at the exact moment of impact. This definitive conclusion stops the viewer from swiping away in the final seconds. Delivering this specific climax is how we satisfy the biological loop we opened at the start of the video. When we zoom out to the macro level, the ultimate goal of the platform becomes clear. This graph shows the threshold for virality. A 30% retention rate leads to a dead video. But if you can keep 80% of viewers watching instead of swiping, the algorithm scales your content exponentially. Recommendation algorithms don't measure the quality of your art. They measure the degree of biological resonance you've engineered. Modern storytelling is a measurable science. By mastering the timeline of human attention, any narrative can be weaponized for systemic virality.